And Predator Team Mode Accelerator 18 Plus, it's gonna be fine. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. I'm with the Bootner 3000, Josh Mike. What's up? Man? Really bad joke. I'm so sorry.
No,
but we're basically here to nerd it out.
Pretty much.
Two boot nerds, one big release.
Very big.
Predator re-release of the Accelerator versus the 18 Plus. Basically, 20 years apart. We're going to discuss which is better, obviously, how it's progressed. Has it done well? Has it aged well? You know,
They're the same color, basically.
and that's it for this video. Thanks everyone. Go buy the boots. Bye bye. No, a re-release is also it's always amazing.
I love seeing it.
And for me, this is one of the greatest boots of all time. Not the re-release necessarily, but the OG Accelerator. So I'm super happy to see this back, especially after the electricity colorway came out.
Yes.
I liked it, but it's not the real.
No, this is the black, red, and white is what you want.
Exactly.
And you know what? It was cool when Adidas first started doing the Predator remakes. It was a little bit of a bummer that they were synthetic, but it's kind of like, it got you excited either way. And now they're doing it the way they should be doing it.
I totally agree.
They've basically given you the old school upper.
Without the bulky sole plate of old. So that's and it is basically the old upper. You know, you get the same leather, you get the same stitching, you get all the little details. The rubber elements are the same. The tongue might not be completely the same color, but it's almost the same shade of red.
It's close enough.
It's leather. You might get a red liner on the tongue. I'm not 100% sure about that. But apart from that, you know, the eyelets, it's all there.
They did a good job.
I would definitely agree. And then, of course, you get the liner on the inside. It's not leather anymore. It's actually suede. I appreciate that because it gives you a better fit. As you pointed out, the heel is a little wider.
Not quite the same. But you know what? They did everything. When you take an upper and you put it on a completely different base, some things have to be modified in order for it to function as a boot. And this is actually designed to be worn, which is the cool part. It's not just a display piece or a collector's item. You can wear these.
Oh, definitely. I mean, as you can see right now, I'm wearing these. And while it's a different experience, I think we can both agree on that this is a different experience, both compared to the OG boots, but also especially if you look at this.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking because you have fond memories of stuff like this, and then you try it out again for the first time in literally 20 years, and it's like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I like this anymore.
And you actually heard me. The first thing I said is, oh my gosh, Josh. These they feel like bricks.
Yeah,
and honestly, they're so bulky.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm hating on it because I have so fond memories of these. They're some of my all-time greatest boots.
Yes.
But would I wear them today? I don't think so.
It's tough. It's really such a different experience versus not only what we have now, but what you're basically used to if you've been playing in the last 10 years.
Exactly.
Because they have changed so much.
But the funny thing is that, you know, looking at this was kind of the pinnacle of technology in 2018. Hello. 1998, of course, when these came out.
Yeah.
Came in 2 generations. And then now we have 2018, 20 years later.
The newest Predator. The return of the Predator.
The return of the Predator. It's like so much stuff has changed. And yes, they might still be black, red, and white. But nothing is basically the same.
No.
And I know a lot of people have been hating on the fact that the 18 Plus isn't the Accelerator. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there has to be some logical progression at some point. You can't make the same boot from 1998 for 20 plus years.
No.
And I think I know that's what they're technically doing, but I think that's what the market demands now. In 3 months, it's almost old news these days, which is crazy to think, but that's just how the market has kind of trended. So as much as I don't think that necessarily represents classic Predator, it's not supposed to either. It's supposed to represent the latest thing, and that's kind of what the Predator historically was. It was always the latest technologies, the newest ideas, all incorporated into one boot. And that, essentially, from a conceptual standpoint, is what we're getting with the new one.
And you might, that's what I mean. You might like this, you might think it's a travesty of a boot, but again, you know, if people want the old school Predators, they can go and buy the remakes. It would be super boring if Adi just, you know, we saw how the Preds kind of stagnated when they just insisted on going with some sort of modern interpretation of the Predator your way. Okay, they dropped the tongue, but they still insisted on having the very heavy rubber elements. Predator Instincts were popular, but you know, if this is what it takes for Predator to be in 2018.
Let's be real. I think out of all the modern Predators, the last several, this has been the most well received. As controversial as it is,
Yep.
people seem to like it.
And I think that people just needed to accept this is what a Predator is going to be like in 2018. Now, you know, it was all like, oh, not my Predator, all that stuff, hashtag. But I feel like if you're growing up now, this is what you're going to want. If you're an old guy like myself, or plus 30 even, I'm not 30 yet, I just got to point it out. You might want to have this for nostalgia reasons.
Yes.
And the funny thing is, you do get the extra power. There's the bulk. There's the, you know, like extra oomph when
You know what? As old as this feels when you're wearing them, I still really like them. And I think if you grew up with any older Predator, there's something to love about just playing in that.
Definitely. I mean, it's such a unique pair of boots because it's so aggressive when you strike the ball. And if you hit it on the sweet spot, you can get some rockets flying.
There's still something to be said about the rubber elements and that classic Predator feel. There's something different about it.
Yeah. You just get, you know, you get the comfort, you get the leather softens up nicely. It's actually a pretty premium boot when it comes down to it. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's not a boot I would wear again today, but I do appreciate putting it on. It brings me back in a good way without giving me the bulk of the sole plate evolved.
Yeah. And you know what? I think that's what the Predator, there aren't too many lines that have been around for 20 years.
Exactly.
And the Predator's been around for longer than that. So, you know what? In 20 years, is this what's going to be what people remember? Yeah. And they're probably going to want this remade.
Probably.
And by the time 20 years goes by, this is going to be like old school.
Yeah, and they're gonna look at this and think, what on earth was going on back in 1998? I mean, I don't know, but still, you know, for me, I think it depends on what you grew up with, really.
It really is.
And if you grew up with either Zidane or Beckham, depends on how you want to wear your tongue. You know, this is just iconic, and I love that Adi actually listened to consumers and did it right this time.
This is what people have wanted.
This is the way to do a remake, full stop.
I agree. It's cool.
Which would you wear?
Honestly, if I had to pick, I would personally prefer to wear this. I love it. I know it's bulky. I know it's heavy. I know it's... Some people would even call that ugly. I don't know what's wrong with those people, but they would. They look great on feet, by the way. I love this. Everything about that, I love.
And if you love it, well, you might be in luck that we still have pairs left. Now, I'm going to leave a link on the screen. If you're quick enough, you can still manage to get him. So click the link, go to unisportstore.com. Now, of course, if you want to see more on the Preds and boots in general, if you're not already subscribed to Josh, I don't know which planet you're on. So if you
There's a couple planets.
There's a couple of planets, but if you're on one of those planets, come back to Earth, go subscribe to his channel. He makes awesome videos. If you're not subscribed to our channels, I don't know how you found this video, but if you're not, go subscribe to it by clicking the button right over here for a lot of videos, talking to the stars, looking at new boots, teaching you some tricks. And finally, of course, if you have any questions, well, you can go and leave them in the comment section right down below. If you want to watch more videos, you can also click the playlist right down here. With that said, guys, I think we're going to sign off.
I think that's it.
Cheerio.
Later. I don't know what this was.